So let's talk being put in the middle. When you're in the middle, eventually you got to come out the corner. And when you come out the corner, I want to come out the corner the way that Karen Huger comes out of the corner. Baby. Oh, Miss Karen. Oh. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 5, episode 13. Like I said, see, I've been waiting. I've been waiting because, truth be told, Karen has been in a position that I just don't deem it as a nice place to be. Being in the middle of two people who you care for, who are going through something, it's just not a nice place to be. It's not. I don't care how smooth or how cool or how level-headed you are. Being stuck in the middle when you're actually stuck in the middle. Not when you've put yourself in the middle, but when you just happen to be in the middle. It is just bad. It's just all bad. And I've seen this coming for weeks. Watching this, I'm like, poor Karen is stuck in the middle because she truly, I don't know, listen, it seems though everybody else is really taking a side. Like as far as Rob and Gizelle and Wendy, them heifers that took a side. They know how they feel and where they're going with it. They are not messing with old Monique. They're not. They're really not. But what's becoming more and more evident is that Candice is wanting old Karen to make a choice. And I'm like, this. Karen calls herself the Grand Dame for a reason. And she believes she is that person. She's the Grand Dame. So, one, for you to think, little girl. And that's what she. When she starts referring to her as little girl, I said, oh, girl, she's going to get you, honey. She is going to get you, honey. Keep on playing. But she feels like she is the Grand Dame, honey. She's the grand bitch on the show. And you don't tell her what she's about to do. And girl, I'm here for it. Anyway, we're going to get to it. First things first. Juan and Gizelle meet up to go and find this ring for Robin. The first ring he looked at, so I just started laughing, honey. Juan said, wait a minute. Did that price tag say $59,000? Yes, Juan. We're on TV. You knew it wasn't no 5,900. It's 59K, 59,000, because we on TV. Juan gave them, honey. Now, y'all know Juan is real. Juan's a real one. He cute. And he real, baby. Juan's gonna go to fuck. Go on back there, get this heifer a ring. He said, yeah, there you go. 89.50. No, not 89,005. 89.50. $8,950. Yeah, yellow diamonds around the side and on the back. That's cute. Yeah, there we go. I just laughed at that. I was like, that's what I'm talking about, Juan. Juan ain't putting on no front for y'all and playing these games that Giselle's playing. Giselle, oh yes, girl, you ain't got no $59,000 ring either. If you don't sit your ass down, that's crazy money. That's rich people money. That ain't Potomac money. Not the Potomac y'all, not the Potomac show that y'all on. 89.5. That's like Orange County money, ain't it? $8,950 and no cents. Maybe that's what Juan Dixon got in store for Miss Robin Dixon, and I'm here for it. It was very pretty, and it was cute. I thought it was funny because Juan wasn't playing the TV game. I can't afford that shit. I had fun with it. I thought it was cute. But the ring is very, very pretty. Moving on. Monique meets with Pearl, which Pearl is Chris's godfather. Now, see, I like this Pearl, honey. Pearl wasn't here for the bull crap. Monique had got over there, and again, I'm not believing the words that come out of her mouth. Sorry. I just... And see, part of the reason is that she's in this the last 2 episodes, it's this thing of like, oh, I feel sorry. Now I'm sorry for what I did. But I just don't think that you are. I just don't think that you are sorry. I think that you are trying to do damage control. And that's all that I'm getting. I'm sorry. That's just what I'm getting. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Personally, the whole fight and all the aftermath is starting to get a little draining. But anyway, Pearl basically, she was telling him, I'm finally starting to feel bad about what happened. She started feeling bad after the blog started dragging her, is what I saw. I think, she said it when she said, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. So when you get embarrassed, you got to try to flip it. And I believe she's trying to Olivia Pope this situation. And I ain't buying it. Candice definitely ain't buying it. And Pearl's cool and real. And Pearl said, girl, there was some underlying issues that led up to this. And she actually admitted it. Like, yeah, it had nothing to do with her. She didn't deserve that. And that is the truth. That is the truth. I've been saying it since the season started. That all of that pent-up anger that Monique has, she wants to whoop Chris's ass. And his mother, too. I don't think she's totally over that. So I think if given the chance, she would like to whoop Chris and his lookalikes' ass real good the way she whooped Candice's ass. That's what I believe. And obviously, that's what Pearl believes as well. But anyway... She gets on this phone and she starts inviting the girls to this live podcast about the self-redefined me. I'm like, after a couple weeks. Okay, girl. She contacted Wendy and she contacted Robin, and both of them was given. Girl, I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't know. But you could tell from their whole verbiage, they ain't coming, girl. They ain't trying to do it. And then Karen was like, oh, of course, I'll be there, darling. I said, okay. But then Karen ended up calling in sick, baby. I said, oh, Karen. She said she wasn't feeling well. She texted her the day of it, said she wasn't feeling well. And this is attached to her Not for Lazy Moms thing. Honey, I don't know what went wrong with the brand, but people just ain't featuring it. I don't know if things have turned around now since, they filmed. But from what I'm seeing, people just ain't featuring Not Lazy Moms, honey. And the attendance was low. Now that I felt bad for her. I'm like, dang, all that money she's put in, all the time. And we've seen the time and the effort that she put in. But for whatever reason, people just ain't feeling it. I think the brand is boring. But I mean, whatever. Anyway, but obviously a lot of other people did too. But just the same, I feel bad that it's not popping off, and she's really trying to keep it going. But anyway, we're going to talk about that more in a minute. Ray and Karen went to see a counselor. And I'm like, let's go. Because, come on, this is boring. Let's go. And basically, they got through the whole thing. She really wanted Ray to acknowledge, all these years while everything's been going on, Ray's making the empire for them and him and all of that. She just wants to be acknowledged that she took care of him, that he had a good woman behind him that was boosting him up and holding him up and, giving him what he needed to build this thing that he's built. And she just wanted to be acknowledged. And he did, and she was like, that took a lot out of him. I don't see why I should. I mean, the truth is the truth. And she did, holding down. And then when shit jumped off, she held him down. And that came out. We ended up talking about that some more as we went on into this episode. I said, yeah, I didn't get that whole thing. Why is it so hard for Ray to say, yeah, Karen held me down? Because now, quite honestly, Ray, boo, she did. Now, All this other stuff, I still stand on. I think that he has outgrown her because he reached in for a young model. He wanted his young piece of arm candy, and now the arm candy is now like cotton candy that don't stand up no more. It's like it done got a little wet, and maybe it's time for a new model. Not fair, but that's life. When you get a sugar daddy, honey, sugar daddy, girl, you age, and then you age out. And I think that's all what's going on, but I could be wrong, but I don't. Anyway, moving on. He acknowledged it. Let's go. Wendy, girl, why is you giving them kids breast milk? I'm okay with you explaining breast milk and what it's about and the benefits of breast milk to them at this age. I'm cool with you explaining it. But the 2 droplets and the drops of breast milk, I wasn't feeling that. Girl, what is... they don't need no samples out of your titties at this age. All that's gone. Like, we years past that, honey. They done with your titties. I just didn't. That was weird to me. But anyway, that was strange. Now, this whole thing, her stance is really what it is. She's definitely on Candice's side, and she's definitely Team Candice. And she feels as though Karen does some backpedaling. That she does some backpedaling and all of that as pertains to the situation. I said, oh, here we go with this whole thing. I'm like, it's going to come to a head where Karen's going to have to say something to these people. Anyway, moving on. Let's go on over here to Monique's event. Like I said, the attendance was down. Karen said she wasn't feeling well, so she didn't show up. Robin and Wendy both decided not to come, which we knew they weren't going to come. Nobody even said anything about Gizelle at all. We knew Gizelle wasn't featuring her. Ashley came. Ashley, you messy as hell. Because from what I'm seeing, it's like basically Ashley, the whole making up between Ashley and Candice, it just should have never even happened. Because did it really happen? Did it even, like, whatever. Because Ashley is so completely Team Monique and trying to hold Monique up. And she is not feeling Candice. She still holds resentment with what happened with her, with Candice. And I'm like, you messy. And you need to be quiet. You're doing a whole lot of talking about what's going on and how it went on. And remember, you weren't there. You were in the shit house. You were not out there. You didn't even see the fight. You came after the fight was over, which means your mouth should be zippity split. You shouldn't be saying nothing, Miss Ashley, and you're doing the absolute most. And then she sat there. Monique was basically going into how she was a little hurt about Karen. Now Karen didn't show up for this event. But girl, she was hurt that nobody showed up because the event was empty. So it wasn't just Karen. She was just feeling some kind of way, period. But Ashley spun that time and went on and told her that Karen told Candice, yeah, I'd be pressing charges. No, why, Ashley? That is giving messy bitch tease. That was so messy. So messy. It would have came out at some point. You didn't have to be the one to bring it out. You messy. Anyway, moving on. They went and did this Q&A part to the little event. And this is where I say, Monique, I ain't buying what you selling, baby. I'm not. I ain't buying what you selling. You literally sat up in there and you still got this bad bitch showing out for the people situation going on. Someone asked the quote. First of all, we saw her with her team kind of leading it along how they were talking about how they were going to lead it along the question and answer part. Well, her lady led in softly to the, what is the state of you and Candice's relationship? As somebody was wanting to ask, and they were just going to usher it in and breeze over it. But no, Monique, you came across like an arrogant bitch. And you will say, how about just say y'all pray for us? Which means we still ain't getting along. It's that thing and the other. And then that whole, just your demeanor. And some of what was said, and then some more tweets. Girl, you still got that, honey, showing out for the people. You doing it for the gram, honey. And that's why all the other stuff is looking disingenuous. Just disingenuous. Anyway, it just... I'm sorry, I'm not buying what she's selling. Moving on. Wendy's event. Wendy had an event about black girls vote. Wendy's smart. She's smart. I mean, we know she's smart. But from what I saw in this event, and y'all, I'm not really a Wendy fan. I like Wendy's husband better than I like Wendy. I think Wendy's kids are entertaining. Wendy sometimes gets on my nerves. Like when she was screaming and hollering at that fight, I wanted to bang her on top of her head to make her shut up like a squeeze toy. She was just doing too much. But Wendy can be a little irritating at times. But Wendy is a smart cookie. You understand me? I was very impressed by the things that was coming out of her mouth and how she was handling that room. I said, I see why you are that girl, or why you are who you are. She definitely has a way about her. She definitely commands a room. She definitely is one you could listen to about things that matter because she was speaking and she knew what she was talking about. So I think I gained a whole nother piece of respect for Miss Wendy. Girl, I respect you. You still rack my nerves. But you smart, baby. You one smart cookie, and you know how to command a room. And I was very impressed. I really, really was. I was impressed. You know, I like to be an old smart old black woman, honey. So, you know, that just she was. Yeah, girl. You definitely you won for our team, honey. I really was impressed with her working that room. Anyway, and the things she had to say. Now, let me say this about confessionals. These confessionals is why we all love reunions. Okay? This pandemic thing and how my reality shows are in a position where they're not able to do their reunions the way they used to is driving me nuts. Because they carry on so badly. And these confessionals tell, you just be like, whoa, oh, damn. You can't wait to get to the reunion because you know they're going to see all this in real time and they're going to see the confessionals. And baby, some things that have been patched up are going to get unpatched. Shall we live for it? For the mess, the whole drama of it all. Listen, Juan ended up talking to, this was just quick. I'm just throwing this in there. Juan ended up asking Robin's parents about marrying her. They're on board. That's that. Move on. So at the event for Wendy, Robin showed up. She had this red hair on. It was ugly. Ugly. It might have been fine on somebody else, but Robin, it just made Robin look hard. Robin looked as hard as Chinese arithmetic in that hair. It was terrible. I like Robin when she's blonde. Robin's very pretty. And she looks very, very pretty in her blonde, you know, and ash-toned things going on with her hair. That red just looked like an old, tired, wore-out whore. It just wasn't good. And then it looked heavy and it was thick. And it didn't have the right, it had too much character. I was like, girl. You giving me honey flights tease, honey. I said, girl, honey, you look like you got a plan and a man that's waiting to work out the plan with you with a check, honey. I just didn't like that. But all the girls hated it. And baby, they were dragging her. Dragging her in their confessionals. Dragging her. And then Gizelle, that's Miss Can't Get Right. Now, her dress wasn't too bad. She had like this might have been a blouse. It was pretty, but it was extra. It was extra and overdone. But that ponytail was the worst. Her little hairdresser needs a whole entire ass whooping. Not a whooping, a whooping. That ponytail was terrible. It had 3 different shades and versions of her hair going on. She was wavy here, straight here. It was coming loose, and then the ponytail was just weaved, and you know it was, he took a bag of weave. He pulled her hair into a pony, braided it, wrapped it around in a knot, took a bag of hair, and started, he didn't even unfold the whole bag, just start wrapping, baby. You could actually see it where it was actually, and it was cut blunt at a 0-degree angle, and it was all one length, and when he put it in, the ponytail dropped. So, you know, it's like this, and when you put it in, it's all like this, then it drops, and then there's some sticking up, some hanging down, but it's still in a circular motion with the middle out. That was so ugly, and it just fell on top of itself, but it didn't fall into like no type of beautiful layers or not. That thing was fake and ugly looking. It really did look like a My Little Pony doll that some little girl learned how to do and then let it drop. That was ugly. All of different colors and all of different textures. That looked a mess. It looked a mess. I was like, ooh, girl, that ponytail looked like wedding soup, honey. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, honey. All mishmashed up there together, honey. You had a pile of shit on your head, honey. It looked terrible. And then you had the nerve to be saying something about Robin's. Y'all better leave Robin's hair alone. Gizelle said over looking simple. Anyway, then Gizelle, time and place. Why are you sitting up there spilling all the tea about Ray being bailed out by Karen? Why did you feel the need to be discussing that there? But you did. You did. And then, like I said, the confessionals. Child, when Candice got her confessional, she gonna hit Robin with a 2-piece. Honey, and then took the biscuit and smacked her in the forehead and rubbed the butter on her forehead and then kept the biscuit. Baby, she said, girl, this red hair, honey. She gonna say, girl, what are you doing? Hiding out, honey? Are you hiding out from the IRS? I said, oh, girl, double entendre, honey. She hit you with a double read, honey. You got fucked up hair and you got financial problems. I said, girl, she gonna get you. When she see that, she gonna get you, Miss Candice. Anyway, but here's the best part that happened, honey. The best part of waking up is Karen getting you together and saying, what the fuck, honey? Karen and old Candice, did y'all see Candice with the extra shoes with the feather going all up the back? I said, girl, where you going with these feather boots, honey? Just extra. Anyway, she wanted to go downstairs and have this conversation. I said, I bet you sorry you went down there. Baby, she gets down there, she gets to tell, she going to bold tell Karen how she don't appreciate how she's basically taking Monique's side, and she's not siding with her. And instead of, baby, when I tell you that Karen got Candice right together. Baby, she told her, let me tell you something, little girl. I don't appreciate you giving me all this favor, honey. And she said, I held you down a year ago. I am completely insulted. When that stuff happened with you and Ashley, I held you down the same way I'm holding Monique down. So, little girl, I was like, oh, baby, she got Candice so thoroughly together. It was one of those moments where Candice thought she was getting Karen together, and then it gave this, I said, girl, that's what we call hashtag BP and PP, but you can't even get it out. So it's giving, girl, that's the remix, honey. That's BP and PP, the remix. You couldn't even get it out because she had gotten you thoroughly together. I said, oh. Then Wendy comes and enters in, and now she's telling her about she said, girl, we're not asking you to just choose her, but we're asking you to hold her accountable for what actually happened, baby. She told her, I am holding her accountable. She said, but see, what you don't know, there's something wrong with Monique. There's something clinically wrong with her, this, that, the other. Then Wendy gave Karen, girl, ain't nothing wrong with her. Ain't nothing wrong with her. You just need to stop BPing and PPing, which is true. That is true. She did. Karen got old Candice together, but Wendy got Karen together. Girl, ain't nothing wrong with Monique. But I still don't feel like it's fair, like Karen got to choose. I think Karen should be able to be just cool and go on and play mother figure like she been and all that. She don't have to choose. Candice, you just acting, you doing the most. Like you do, you being a brat. And girl, she told her, she said, girl, you're so smart, but your mouth just doesn't keep up with you. I said, oh, girl. Anyway, it was good, honey. So that's kind of where they broke out at, because Wendy and Karen was getting ready to start getting it going on, honey. And then they had to like pull it back. I said, oh, they was just getting along for a second. And Wendy ain't trying to hear it, honey. Ain't trying to hear it. But that's ugly. The whole being in the middle thing is ugly. But Candice was doing the most. And Karen got her ass right together. Feathered booties and all, honey. Ha! Anyway, see y'all next weekend.